Africa spends more on rice than some governments spend on schools. And before you ask, no, this video is not about Hilda Bassi, but congratulations, sis. I see you. What you've achieved is phenomenal. Please fix me a bowl when I land in Nigeria. Anyway, this is about rice, power, politics, and billions. Nigeria brings in over 2 million tons a year. Ghana almost 1 million. In Sierra Leone, they literally call rice sacred, but still import over a third of what they eat. By 2030, Africa's rice bill could hit $35 billion. But rice isn't even one of Africa's staples. Before rice came yam, cassava, and maize. Those were crops bought through trade. And let's not forget sorghum and millet, the true African grains, strong against drought, full of food, but pushed aside whilst leaders chased rice. But that's another story for another day. Anyway, the love for rice only blew up in the last 50 years, pushed by cheap Asian supply and city life. In Asia, governments help farmers to keep rice cheap with subsidies, and that makes it hard for African farmers to compete. Now, whether it's Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Tanzania, or almost any country on the continent, a lot of families feel like if rice isn't on their plate, then they haven't eaten at all. Governments have tried rules. Nigeria blocked border rice, Ghana restricted FX, and if I'm correct, they later banned rice exports in 2024. Sierra Leone pushed to grow its own. Tanzania stopped export permits. Still, markets are full of foreign rice. Smugglers bring it through Benin and Togo, turning that border into a rice highway. When farmers do grow, some sell across borders where they get better prices, leaving families at home to pay more. And cheap Asian rice keeps flooding in. In Ghana, a survey actually found that even when local rice was cheaper, many still picked imported bags, not just for taste, but because they cook quicker and were more polished. And you know what? That's about infrastructure, isn't it? Local rice can still have husks and stones, which turns buyers off. But the real driver is politics. A lot of governments have set up loans and farm schemes, but checks show that a lot of those go to big players with links to politicians, not the small farmers it was meant for. If you control rice, you control money and votes. The result is high prices, weak food supply, and billions sent outside of Africa. But there is hope. Anchor borrowers and new mills have raised supply in some places. Ivory Coast doubled harvest with smart valleys water plans. Senegal grew more with river irrigation. The African Development Bank says that closing the rice gap could save billions and create jobs. The way forward seems clear, right? Invest in irrigation, build better mills, stop smuggling, break the hold of big importers, and give sorghum and millet the same push because they are indigenous strong and they can feed the future. Until Africa owns its food, every drought, every ban, every election will decide what people eat. Talk to me in the comment section and don't forget to hit repost.